Well, I'll tell you what, I feel old seeing you up there as a manager. I really do. But you must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a club that means a hell of a lot to me. And to be interim manager and sort of leading the club forward for the short-term future is really proud moment for me and my family. Everyone around the place knows how passionate I am about the club being successful, and I'll give everything I can to the job.
When you had that meeting Sunday, did you need any persuading at all? Because it's quite a change, quite a turnaround.
No, I didn't. No, I mean there was no chance of that. So yeah, I took it with open arms. I had a really productive meeting with the owner and the chairman on Sunday. I think it was clear the plan I set out for the short term over the next few weeks, and yeah, I just can't wait to get started now.
It does feel like your club as well. I know you're United based, but you've been here a lot. You've had so many different roles here as well. It does feel like yours in a way, does it?
Really does, yeah. I mean, said in my initial interview with the club, I came here either 19, 20 years old as a loanee. I returned as a midway through my career. Captain, finished my career here, 18s coach, and now sat in the hot seat. So really does feel like I've gone through all stages of my life at this club.
I don't think there's a league like it, a championship with relegation and promotion, but you sort of look okay. What is the target from now to the end of the season?
I set myself 2 targets and then told the lads that our target is to literally win the next game and make sure that players, fans, staff go away in the summer looking forward to next year.
You know how the club operates in terms of managerial changes. Do you reckon that could be a good thing for you, or does that give you more of the thought, let's just see how I go week after week?
I've not thought about that, to be honest. I am working incredibly hard with my staff every day to try and win the next game, and that is all that's going through my mind.
If it's going well though, and they did approach you before the end of the season, you'd have to seriously consider it, wouldn't you? Or you don't feel it's come too early. You do feel this has come at the right time.
100%, yeah. I'm confident in what I do. I feel like my experiences through my career have really equipped me for this challenge, and yeah, I'd be lying if I said that I wouldn't dream of taking this job, and 100% I'll do everything I can, but first things first is to win on Saturday.
You played under some huge managers. Have you spoken to any of them yet? Not just for advice, but maybe just to chat about the role?
More youth team coaches, Paul McGuinness, Warren Joyce. I've had a lot of texts off previous managers, Chris Wilder, Rob Edwards. Not Sir Alex yet, but it's Cheltenham week, so yeah.
Would he be someone you'd be able to speak to? Because you have played under some huge managers in your course.
Yeah, when I got the 18s job, I spoke to him on the phone. So that's a nice touch from him. He always remembers his ex-players and keen to give advice. So I'd be, I wouldn't be surprised if he called in the next week or so.
Troy Deeney spoke so highly of you on Sky the other day. He's delighted for you. He said it would take a couple of weeks for the players to decide how they feel about you. But what do you think about that? And how do you feel about it? You do know 90%. You've played with 90% of these players. But you've been watching the boys, the ones you haven't played with this season, at games, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I've got a head start. Is I know them personally. The transition's a little bit easier. I think it helps. For 7 years, I felt like I was a respectful teammate, so they know what kind of person I am. And yeah, I addressed that I'm still Tom or Clevs, or I'm not Gaffer. Certainly not yet, anyway. But so we cleared that one up. So yeah, the transition's been fairly easy. The lads have been great.
And you're sitting in the right places for dinner and lunch. You're not sitting with the players, and that's a bit of a difference, isn't it? It
is. It's a different view from the manager's table, but it's obviously the dynamic's a little bit different from the teammate relationship, but it's felt comfortable.
And the next few games ahead, some big games, glamour games.
Yeah, obviously all the focus is on Birmingham, but you look a little bit ahead to the fixture list and some exciting games. They're the games that I always looked for, especially when we're in the Championship. I think last season, your Burnley, your Sheffield Uniteds, and you embrace the challenge. And I feel like the squad has also matched the levels of playing the bigger teams this year, so I'm excited.
Two more from me. Have you spoken to Valier, who's obviously left the club? You have a relationship with him in the academy. Have you spoken to him?
No, I've not.
And then finally, I watched your interview on Watford's in-house channel, and I have to say, all the comments from all the fans, every single one was positive. That must feel good because, as I said, there have been a lot of changes here. But ultimately, fans want stability, don't they? How does that feel knowing that all of them are just wishing you luck?
Yeah, I felt the support. I felt the support from the fans, from within the club, the players, my staff, the academy. I've really felt that support. And I appreciate that. I appreciate they're positive now. That could always change in the future, and it's not something I've learned to do from my playing career is not read stuff too much. But I appreciate and really do feel the support. Yeah. Cheers.
Tom, when you arrived for the second time, Watford were mid-table Premier League, Cafu, Decore, some real proper footballers. Where they are now, how much does that kind of hurt you and galvanise you to try and get them, back into a similar place?
Yeah, I think one of my sort of mottos for my career is always look in the mirror when things don't go so well. So when I retired, I thought it didn't sit right with me that I'd left the club in a worse position than I arrived. So now I've got the chance to try and put that right, even for a short period, and it motivates me massively. Yeah.
It's a big job, obviously, here. Short term, how are you going to try and reverse the fall?
Try and change the mindset a little bit. Try and motivate them that there's still a lot to play for. Maybe a couple of tactical tweaks, and yeah, I'm sure with a combination of the three, we can see some real positive change in the results.
You will have seen them, obviously, in your role, having watched Watford this season. There's been a tendency to be quite cautious under Val. I don't want to go over to what he was like as a coach, but do you feel like you could maybe be a bit more of an attacking threat with your system?
Yeah, I suppose time will tell. I'm sure every manager will sit here and say that they want this fast-flowing, attacking style of football, and yeah, I would like that. There's certain levels you need to go through to get to that, and yeah, hopefully we are playing in the opposition half, dominating games, but all the time being organised behind the ball. But one thing I will say is I hope you say Watford are high energy and playing for the badge. You've obviously been here a while now, so you know how Watford work. Is that going to help you in this short term and perhaps long term, hopefully? Yeah, I think, like to my question before, the transition's been fairly comfortable. Me having relationship with the board, the players, the staff, and the wider staff, it really has. It's been smooth, and it's allowed me to focus on my job. As a first-time manager at senior level, you can see in your face how excited you are. I don't know how long it takes for managers for the pressure to hit them, but that should help Watford in this case, just to give everybody a bit of a lift. That's the plan. I've tried to come in high energy myself, positive, try and lift the environment a little bit, and that's no disrespect to the previous manager, but it comes natural with poor results. So yeah, I'm just trying to give it a bit of a boost to everyone. And the supporters well, they could do with a boost, couldn't they, with what they've had for these last sort of 5, 6, 7 years? Yeah, that is like I said before. I want everyone to go away in the summer, players, staff, fans, with a real excitement for the next season, and win as many games as we can, starting with Saturday, and hopefully everyone has a real optimism about next year. With everything that's gone on this week and new manager and that type of thing, how much have you looked at Birmingham and how they play? Because it's probably in a whirlwind this week. No, you'd be surprised. I have focused a lot of hours into Birmingham. Well, we went to their fixture on Tuesday night. There's not been much sleep, but yeah, it has been a bit of a whirlwind, but I feel like we've done a really good job at having tunnel vision on the job in hand and preparing the lads the best we could. And they've obviously got a caretaker manager as well. They're struggling down at the bottom. Is this a nice game to come into? They're all not going to be easy, are they? But how do you view the actual match? I know the Championship. It doesn't always work like you expect it to. So I honestly don't see Birmingham away any easier than Leeds, than Leicester, than Southampton. I played in the Championship a lot of times, and every game is a real big challenge. It's the consistent teams that are not normally the most successful. So yeah, I'm not underestimating the challenge we have on Saturday at all.
Final one from me. You played under a lot of managers, including here. Do you just take bits from all of them as far as you're concerned?
I think it'd be silly not to. Yeah, sort of massively experienced managers take little bits, leave little bits. At the same time, always be authentic to what I am and who I am.
All right, just produce guys. All right, Andrew. Yeah, I just said that's the two ball round. It's all right. Okay. All right, guys. Go away.
Tom, welcome. You've had a very distinguished playing career. You're associated, I suppose, in the public mind with two clubs, as Man U and here. You've also played, we're just discussing managers you've played under. Man U, for instance, was a Premier League winners medal. You must have known Alex Ferguson quite well. A lot of people will assume that some of your management technique will automatically come from him. But is it like that, or do you?
I think what he was best at was being adaptable. And the way the game's evolving, you have to be adaptable. So his styles back then, 10, 15 years ago, I'm sure he would be a different manager now because he was so good at adapting to the modern day player. So yeah, I've taken things and that he used to do, sort of how to manage a squad of 20, 25 internationals. But yeah, I don't think my style will mirror his too much.
Now, getting down to brass tacks, these jobs, like the job you've just taken, come up when things aren't going too well. You know, you're perfectly aware there's been no home win since November the 28th. I think it's one league win in 11 or 12. But from what you're saying, you had no qualms when the call came. Your in tray has a few problems in it, but that didn't put you off at all.
Absolutely not. Never been afraid of hard work. I realise how much it's going to sort of take to how much I'm going to have to put in personally. But I really do think that we can change the fortune of the results quickly. And I would love nothing more than to get the win Saturday and then against Leeds on Good Friday being a Bradford last.
Is management something you've always looked at? Because your playing career, at least from the outside, seemed to end somewhat abruptly with an injury. But did you always have an eye on management? Yeah,
when I came back to the club when I was about 27, it was a squad of many different nationalities. So the young players sort of didn't have too much help, guidance. And that's when I thought I can really help these young players that are coming through at Watford. I've got a passion for it. I like the responsibility of it. And I thought, yeah, that's everything that a coach needs to be. So my passion for coaching came then. I realised it's going to be my next career. I didn't think it would develop this quickly, but I'm excited for the challenge, yeah.
And the last one, there's a particular problem that the fans have been looking at, and that is that this season we've not had a settled number 9 or a number 1 striker. We've had Bayer in, we've had Rajvic in. It's quite an important position because, of course, it's the outlet for the ball, it's where the goals come from, hopefully. You're looking for your knockdowns and your layoffs. Do you see that as a problem for the club you need to solve, is to get somebody settled up front?
It's a good question. Without giving too many secrets away, all I can say is I'm very, very comfortable and confident with the way we've prepared the team this week. I don't think we could have done much more. And yeah, ideally everyone has a 30-goal striker that plays every game, but we have to be a little bit sort of different here because, yeah, even the season we got promoted, we didn't have that player. Sometimes it was João Pedro, sometimes it was Deeney, sometimes it was Gray. So I know that good results can be achieved in this league without having the settled number 9.
Thanks, Tom.
Cheers. See you.
Yeah. Is Clevs the coach, Clevs the manager, a different person to Clevs the player?
No, not at all. No ego, hard working, passionate. So yeah, that's what you'll see from it. Because as it stands, yeah, I'd go back to being Cleb's the 18s coach at the end of the season. So no, absolutely no change.
Does the game look different through a coach's eyes though? Do you look at players and think, yeah, I can understand why they might have done that when I was playing, or I can understand how youngsters react when you're looking at it through a different lens?
Yeah, and I think that's where I have got an edge also, because I'm so fresh out the playing side. I can really sort of empathise or put myself in their shoes and think why have they thought that, why has he done that. Obviously I'm inexperienced, so there's some downfalls to the turnaround being this quick, but there's a lot of positives to being so fresh out the dressing room.
I was interested to see you had some of the younger 21s join in with the first team. Is that with the view just to give them a bit of a feel, or is that because over the course of these next 9 games you might want to give them a run?
I wouldn't be promoting anyone as a token gesture. It's if they're ready to train the first team, I see that they're ready to help the team and play minutes. So yeah, we've promoted Albert Eames straight away. I've seen him on a daily basis for the last few months, and it's always nice when the club sees and the fans see homegrown talent and our academy products reach the first team. But like I said, there'll be no token gestures here.